A man gets slapped after proposing with a ring pop at the Toronto Blue Jays game. So let's actually check this video out. Basically, like tells her, kisses her, blah blah, says like I love you, gets on the knee, pulls out a ring, and then is a ring pop. Which, by the way, like here's the thing: marriage is one of the most important decisions you'll probably ever make if you end up going down that route. And doing something like this, because here's the thing, he might have actually did this and then had like a secret like true wedding ring in his pants or something, ready to whip it out, right? But like here's the thing, like if you pick the wrong person to marry, it's not going to end well for you. And what's going to happen in this video is basically a perfect red flag as to this relationship probably was not like never really going to work out. Right? One, that he did this in a public place, which she probably didn't like. Two, that he pulled a joke about this with a ring pop. And what she does in reaction to this ring pop. So let's check it out. Slaps him silly. Like that was a good slap. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Oh no 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 no. A little bit back. Blah. That was a good slap. Jeez. Okay, so a public marriage proposal at a Toronto Blue Jays and Boston Red Sox Major League Baseball game over the weekend went horribly wrong as shocked spectators watched. In a viral video that has received over 200,000 views in under 48 hours, a fan can be seen stopping his girlfriend mid game as she walks down the stairs to her seat in the stadium. The man then pulls his confused girlfriend toward him, kisses her, says, I love you, as he begins to kneel down, leaving the young woman gasping in disbelief with her hand over her mouth, anticipating what would happen next. The gesture immediately drew the attention of spectators sitting in the Rogers Center grandstand close by, as people began to pull out their cameras to video what happened next. Assuming the proposal would be smooth sailing, official camera crew for the game also started videoing the moment to share in the big screens. The man then kneels on the stairs and pulls a black box out of his left jean pocket and, to the woman's and crowd's astonishment, opens the box to reveal a ring pop. And by the way, just like, for future reference, how about don't propose to a girl or to your partner or whatever you're into in public, right? Why not just do that in private and take it like very seriously? Because the person that you're potentially going to do this to might actually want to do it, but might be so shy in public spaces that they don't feel comfortable even like responding, or they don't even know how to like react to it. Like it's just like doing this stuff in a public space is just stupid. So upon seeing the red lollipop ring, the young woman immediately slaps her partner as Blue Jays fans shriek in horror. What the F is wrong with you? She says while throwing her drink at the man. While the details as to whether the proposal was genuine or a prank have yet to be uncovered, social media users were quick to point out an important feature of the video. It is believed the man had the intention of proposing with a real ring after the initial joke and surprise at the ring pop, given he had what appears to be another, smaller box in his left pocket. The proposal video divided viewers on social media, with Reddit users in particular unsure of which camp they should be in and who exactly was at fault for this failed proposal. One, I think no matter what, this basically lays at the feet of the guy because one, you chose a public space to do this. Two, you couldn't even take this moment seriously, right? Even if he had the intention of proposing with a real ring after the joke ring, you still couldn't take this moment seriously for your partner, which is like, how ridiculous are you, right? Like, this is a very important thing to do, and to basically joke around with it is absurd. The guy pulled a jerk move. If he cannot be serious for something important, imagine what type of clown he is day to day, said one user. That's a pretty good comment, right? Because honestly, this kind of serves as like a big warning to the girl. Be like, do I want to be with someone that would even joke about proposing to me? Like that. That would probably be like a pretty good sign. It's like, oh, do I really want to deal with that every day? That's an indication of how the rest of his life would go. Marrying her, move on, dude, agreed another. As hundreds of commenters suggested, this was a big relationship red flag. Users were also quick to come to the man's defense, saying, you're crazy if you think the guy is at blame. And I get that she didn't like this, but there's no reason to slap him across the face, especially in front of thousands. Now, I agree, right? I agree in the sense that she should not have slapped him. She should not have tossed a drink at him. And she should not have reacted the way that she did to thousands, potentially millions of people that will end up seeing this. But it's completely his fault for doing this in an extremely public situation and doing it in a joke fashion. Many users also could not wrap their head around the spectacle, assuming it had to be a staged event, which is also possible. These are usually actors that sports teams bring in nowadays to go viral. The explanation, as always, is that it was staged and people's do anything be on TV, said users, blah 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 blah. Let's see. I wouldn't have liked it, but I would have gone along with it. It kind of depends on the relationship and past history, so hard to judge. Maybe I'm the odd one. Been married first to a huge mistake and now my true wife. Hey, congrats. Each time I proposed, it was in private. Not for fear of reaction, rather it was something intimate for the two of us, not something to play out to an audience, not even family members. They were told after, but the night belonged to only us. Both times. Ah, that was a good one. But the thing is, like, I completely understand this, right? Like, wouldn't you want this like proposal to be very intimate with the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with? Like, I don't understand making like a complete spectacle out of this whole situation. Let's see. Marriage is sacred. Making it into a stunt, proposal, or status event wedding is IMO inappropriate. All her life, a woman waits for this, and for him to do this in front of fans and cameras. Oomph. He's lucky to be alive. Let's see. So when did police take her into custody for domestic abuse and battery? They didn't. Double standard. If the dude slapped her, he'd have no life and would be in cuffs. That's actually a pretty good point because I mean that was a really good slap. So if he did the same thing to her, he would be in jail. Domestic violence in the making. Run now. No one will believe you later. And you know what? This is actually a really good comment that Sixa Anab put. Because if someone reacts like this in a violent way that she did, because again, for those that end up stumbling upon this and just listen to this on the podcast, She did a very strong slap point blank to his face, right? If she's willing to do something like that with cameras all around, what on earth is what is she willing to do when there's no cameras? Like it could get so dark. Canadians, she had every right to slap him. I disagree. There is no there's no reason to go to violence unless your life is potentially in threat. Interesting. Public proposals are creepy. Anyway, a girl should have the option of saying no without anyone losing face. See, that is also a good point too, because some girls might say yes in a public setting, but then actually be like, no, actually, I do not want to be with you like at all. Like we're done. Bye. Feel free to give your thoughts on this if you stumble upon this. Do you think she's in the right? Do you think she's in the wrong? Do you think he's in the right? Do you think he's in the wrong? My personal opinion is that it is very wrong what she did in reaction to this, but in the grand scheme of things, taking a step back and looking at the big picture, is completely on him because he decided to do this in a public space and led with it as a joke, which is just stupid. Like, it's just so stupid what he did. But there is definitely a huge double standard because nothing's going to happen to her legally. But if he did the exact same thing that she did, we would be reading a completely different story. That's for sure.